Live on Facebook. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Okay,
this is Judy and Aimee.
Wait a second.
Back again on Tuesday afternoon.
1 second, Judy. Judy.
Okay.
Sorry. Hang on. Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome from Aimee and Judy here in Visiting Angels in Rochester, Minnesota. We're both TIPA Snow certified in positive approach to care. And over the last several weeks, we've been kind of introducing little bits of what TIPA Snow has to say about caregivers, but also people living with dementia. So what goes on in the brain and the changes that are taking place and our approach to how we can help them discover everything they are. So this week, we'd like to just start the topic of working on gems. Now you may remember at the beginning of the sessions we were doing, we were talking about gems. The sapphire, the diamond, the emerald, amber, ruby, and pearl. Well, we'd like to go a little deeper into that and just say what exactly more about each gem. Now, TIPA Snow has done a really good job of taking what normally the medical world would say as a scale. Well, you're at phase 1, 2, or 3, or you're in stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But how are you looking at it? Like you're number 1, or you want a higher score of 7? You know, so it can get confusing as to what the numbers mean. So she came up with this idea of the beauty. And so she took the beauty of a gem and labeled each phase or each stage with the beauty of the gem and what each one of those means. So
awesome.
We're going, go ahead.
No, I said that's awesome. I'm excited to share this a little bit deeper because when we were talking about it earlier, really meeting people where they are.
Where they are.
And we were talking, Judy and I, about how we so often see this when we go into people's homes. We see a lot of fighting where we are and focusing on what we can't do and trying to change. And I think understanding the gems a little bit is going to help people to stop and meet your person where they are.
Yep.
So,
and that is hard because you were giving up your agenda.
Right. So we're going to do 3 this week. There's 6 total. We're going to do the 3 in the beginning that you most often see in the beginning stages. Remembering that a lot of people, most people jump back and forth between, you know, you don't just move into a diamond stage 1 and stay there until you go to stage 2. You might go back to a sapphire and you might, you know, go forward to. So it's really important to understand each one of these gems and be able to say to yourself, she's in a diamond stage today.
Yeah.
Okay, what did I learn about this particular gem, this beautiful moment that I'm in? So changing that language. And then we'll take the other 3, usually that come later. We'll do that next week. So we start with the sapphire, Judy?
Let's start with the sapphire.
Why does TIPA call it a sapphire?
Well, sapphire, it's your true blue. And a sapphire is blue. So your true self. If this is where it gets a little dicey with, is this normal aging or not normal aging? But their thinking process is slowed down. So here's where you start bringing in talking in different words, getting their attention, getting their sight. Mom, getting in front of them. Aimee, getting their attention, using simple words, slowing it down, waiting for a response because the thinking is just a little slower. They're still themselves. They're still their true blue selves.
Okay.
They like things the same. They're still able to learn. Now, it may take some practice. I think the example TIPA Snow uses is when you put your hands together, how one thumb comes in top of another. She goes, take your hands apart and then try to bring them back together with the other hand on, with the other thumb on top. She goes, it's kind of hard to do, just
willy-nilly.
it's hard to do. But she says what you can do is practice. That, okay, now the thumb is on top, keeping the palms of your hands together. Now the other thumb is on top. So you practice.
And what does that do? That practices you being flexible to change?
Well, that means that you're learning how to set a new pattern.
Okay, I like that.
So they don't like change, but you're able to practice and learn new things.
Lynn is watching us.
So
she
say
said, hi, Lynn.
Yep, and or using a walker or using a cane, they can learn this. It's okay.
It says here to ask permission to reduce background noise or change locations. You can summarize or ask questions to confirm. So when we talk about knowing where you're at, the Sapphire still has a lot of that verbal, so you don't have to, first of all, it's rude to just come in and turn someone's TV off. So we talked about, asking questions and staying away from the yes or no, but now we're just kind of, when you're in a Sapphire state, it's okay to say, do you mind if I turn the TV off so I can hear you? Or so you can use more words, and you need to ask permission. You're not just, coming in, okay, this person has dementia. They have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to put the TV news station on what I want to watch, or I'm going to turn these lights off. And this music is annoying. We need that respect, and they can still answer. We get permission to touch still, so we're still. We're still getting in that visual line. What we learned, right?
Yep, and especially if there's hearing problems to start with, you're still going to have hearing problems. So this is where vision comes in, and you want to get their attention. Aimee, Judy, mom, dad.
Yep. Okay. So then do we go to the diamond?
Then we go to the diamonds. And diamonds are formed from coal under pressure. And under pressure, look at how beautiful they get and how sharp they get. They're clear. You look at a diamond, you go, oh, that's a diamond. Now, yeah, I know there are other things, but you go, wow, that's really a beautiful stone. It's clear. It's sharp.
Hard.
And this is where things, they don't like change so much, and they're going to resist it. So we have always changed the linen on the sheets or on the bed every Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday morning, we got to change that linen. Yeah, well, you have a doctor's appointment, or something else is in the way, or you don't change the routine. It's hard.
So then it's a response in a diamond might be, don't tell me I have a doctor's appointment. I know when I have a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
You always thought I was stupid. I know what I'm talking about. I wasn't talking about my doctor's appointment. I was talking about changing the linens. And it gets heated. And we were talking about something that you might see here that we see as families saying, I didn't say you were stupid, Mom, and so then it begins. But this is where we learned, stop, pause, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That's not what I was trying to do. So that's that language in a diamond where those I'm sorry statements are going to really be helpful. Right? Those sharp words. This is a gem that some of those cutting words and mean things come out, and it's hurtful. The closer you are to the person living with dementia, the more hurtful it is. And we're gonna practice trying not to focus on those words, but trying to see past that and where the emotion is coming from. They're hurting too. And this is embarrassing. This is, not where they want to be either. And I'm sorry this sucks for you. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to make you angry. I think that's just a real game changer.
And they're
We
still
have to say hi.
able to cover up for those social mistakes that they make. Oh,
Yep.
I know, Aimee. So now Amy's apologized. I'll say, Aimee, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got that out of proportion. Okay. Yeah. We need to go.
Yep.
So, you're able with your words and your attitude, the tone of your voice, the words you choose can change it all around.
So I'm sorry, I did not mean to make you angry. Do you think we have enough time to change those linens before we head to the doctor, or should we do that when we get back?
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're agreeing with them. What else about a diamond? And before we go forward, I just want to say Joe's watching and Bobby's out there watching and Sue and Lynn. So hi, thank you for coming on. What else do we need to know about a diamond?
Well, they become very protective and territorial. So if you're going to move your bed stand from one side of the bed to the other, that is not going to happen.
Okay.
That they've always worn this watch, or they've always eaten with this plate. I mean,
it also says that asking that tip that we learned about asking for their help, a diamond appreciates their skill or background. So you were just talking about a person that who really enjoys talking about their background. So asking for help, even if you've heard the story 1,000 times, you were a nurse, and then ask for that. Can you help me understand what's going on here, or whatever? Can you help me? And then you're offering options. I could watch while you make the linens, or would you like me to help, or not make the linens but do the bed? So I see that about the diamond.
Yeah, and this is the point where they're going to be, new information is going to be hard for them. Like if you ask, well, Mom, did you win anything in bingo yesterday? They'll give you an answer. It may or may not be true. It doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't matter if
it doesn't matter.
I think that's
it's where they are that day, and sometimes they'll say, yeah, you know what? I won a Snickers bar. Would you like to share it with me? And it's right there. So they probably wanted a bingo. However, it might have been the one you brought in last week and they're forgetting to eat it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. That's where they are that day. And then it's just a matter of accepting them that day.
Okay.
That moment.
To seeing the beauty in their
gem. Seeing the beauty, the gem, the diamond. And sometimes there are diamonds in a rough.
Yep.
That if they've always been a crotchety old sea captain, they're still going to be a crotchety old sea captain. However, but there's still diamonds. There might be a little rough, but there's still some beauty in that. Because you know what? He was a sea captain. Oh, wonderful. I mean, there's a lot of stories in that.
And then let's see, so we talked about responding to their, still asking permission for touch. I mean, I think that's in all of these. Respecting the personal space and preferences. And again, we're in the social distancing world, but again, if they're showing distress, comforting with hug or touch would be appropriate, but only with permission.
Yeah.
Can I give you a hug? Or again, that reaching in, and if they're not reaching for your hand,
then you're not invited in.
Permission. Yep. So should we move to an emerald?
And then an emerald. Now, this is the emerald is where you're going to see change. It's going to be very noticeable.
Why does Teepa call it an emerald? Did you have some notes?
An emerald is things are getting a little more cloudy. I mean, it's a beautiful stone. It's a beautiful green, but things are getting a little more murky. You can't see through it like you did.
Okay.
But they also are green, which means on the go.
Oh,
and
green on the go.
They like to keep moving, and they're lost in time. This is where people may wander a little bit.
Okay.
They neglect their personal care routine. They need a little more guidance and structure.
You're keeping your verbal a little bit shorter. We're not asking those yes or no questions. This stage, we're really pairing with hand gestures, understanding that some of that auditory is missing. So you can't ask a whole sentence like, did you see that blue jay that landed on the deck over there? And everybody was looking at it, because then they hear overlooking.
Yeah.
It's a little bit confusing. So did you see that bird? You know, you want
remember that they've got their vision like this now. They're losing the periphery. So you get in front of them, get their attention. Hello, Aimee. Invite yourself in. And if they don't accept, you're not invited. They're in control.
Slow down.
Their lead.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
We're going to the doctor. Let's get up and go to the bedroom and get dressed isn't going to work. Can you lean forward? You're going to stand up. One step at a time.
Yep.
Let's put your shoes on, because we're going to go.
Yep. And then, maybe put the shoe, in front of them. It's time to put your shoes on.
Yep. So step by steps, we're shortening that verbal, trying to get away from overly complex sentences. And this gem, you're really getting away from that yes or no question.
And this is where it's scary, because people may have not been diagnosed, or people are still driving and they get lost in their driving. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
But they're lost in time. They're lost on the road. I met a woman once who loved to talk about every meal. She loved to talk about school and all the kids that were in school that day. Lost in time. It was a beautiful place to be, because she must have enjoyed school.
Okay. So,
and following her lead. So we talked a lot about school, and with the color of the desks, and the slate that she used, and how much a piece of chalk cost.
Right.
It had gone up from 1 to 3 cents.
Wow. So in these 3 gems that we talked about today, we're still going to talk about ambers, rubies, and pearls. I think pearl is probably one of my favorite explanations. So we'll talk about that next week. But, to sum it up, we're looking for the beauty, and the biggest advice that we can give today is stop the argument. Stop being so, you are not going to convince mom or dad. You are not going to convince the person that you're caring for what is best for them. Trying to find what they can do in this stage. They can choose to change the linens again, even though you just did it 10 minutes ago. How big of a deal is it?
And I promise you, people, that in 20 years, you're going to laugh about it. Right now, it might be really gut-wrenching. I promise you, in 20 years, it's going to be a sense of humor.
Little bit of laugh. Judy, for those diamonds. I know it's no fun to be talked to like that, or to be screamed at, or to be yelled at. I can tell one story that from somebody that I knew a way back, who mean as a snake. Wasn't always that way, but as those different gems started to present, everything was just said with such a harsh tone, and would call names. Stupid, you're an idiot. Why are you being such an idiot? And in that moment, that one success, I was able to not listen to that person calling me an idiot. And I said, one thing that person said was, well, it's my birthday, you big dummy, or something like that. And I said, oh, it's your birthday? What are you going to do on your birthday? Are you going to go dancing? Well, I love to dance. And so it was just really funny because, well, yes, I love to dance. I always dance, and but still in that mean, gruff tone. But instead of saying, I am not an idiot. Just was able to meet that person right where they were. And, oh, I love to dance, she said.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
anyway,
he's expressing an unmet need, and you were able to find out what that was.
well,
He wanted
yeah.
to be acknowledged that today was his birthday.
Right. And still be grumpy about it.
Yeah, and it's okay.
So, and that's okay. I think it's harder the closer you are to the person to not
Sure.
take offense to that. So, well,
Yeah.
Judy.
All right.
We did it again.
We did it again 20 minutes later. Excellent.
20 minutes later. Thank you so much for
Thanks for coming,
to us.
everybody.
I'm excited to learn about ambers, rubies, and pearls next week.
Yes.
Take it easy. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.
Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.